My name is Kelly Hernandez. It's very nice to meet you all here tonight. Um, it's going to be hard to catch up to you women. The stories you told are very amazing. I came from Colombia when I was 10, going on 11 years old. And what I want to do tonight is share with you some of the stories that made me, I believe, the woman who I am today. And even the line of work that I'm in and what I do, I think has been shaped by the stories and the things that I've been through. I came with my mom, Gloria, who's sitting right there. Um, we came in 1980, I came in 1987, my mom came in 1986. But when my mom brought me, she didn't come here because, from the side of Colombia that I'm from, we didn't come here because it was war-ridden or because of prosecution. We came here because my mom had a dream. When my mom was very young, she came from a family of about 12 brothers and her as the only woman. And they really did believe that she was supposed to get married, and that was it for her. No college, right? So my mom, being like the way that she is, very strong, she wanted to go to college. She really wanted to get higher education. She ended up working and taking some night classes, but not quite fulfilling that dream of going to college. So she said, she worked for a little company. You might know of them, Exxon. Exxon went to Colombia as a contract to extract coal for a contract of about 20 years. My mom worked for that company for about 6 years, and then she was granted the ability to get a visa to come to the United States. When she got the visa to come to the US, her dream was, I want to take my daughter out of here because I want her to get higher education. I want her to go to college one day. But when we come here, the stories I have for you. I remember when we first come to Buffalo. My mom, at the time, there was no central registration to go register for school. So my mom goes to School 33, first school that we ever went to, that I ever went to. And my mom spoke English because she learned English back home in Colombia. So she's at the office there telling them that she needs transportation for her daughter from School 33 is in South Buffalo, by the way. So she needed transportation from South Buffalo to the west side because I needed to go to a bilingual school. So she's there and she's trying to, tell them, and they're like, it's gonna take a month to transfer her over to the west side or to find her a bus route. And this Puerto Rican lady comes up to my mom and she goes, oye, tú hablas inglés y yo conozco gente, yo te puedo ayudar. You speak English, so maybe you can translate for me, and I know people that can help you resolve the problem with the bus. So my mom says, okay, let's do it. I'll translate for you, whatever your need is, and you're gonna help me find transportation for my daughter. So they find out they couldn't change it. The bus line that I needed, I remember it was 867, something like that, the bus number. It was gonna take like 3 weeks to get that set up so I could travel from York Street to South Buffalo. The lady said to my mom, you don't have to worry about the school bus. I'll take your daughter to my house. I'll keep her at my house, and she could take the bus with my daughters and my son. My mother doesn't even question it. I'm standing right there. She goes, okay. So, first time in Buffalo, I got here in August of 1987, and about a month into it, I'm living with Doña Iluminada Rivera. That name may sound, her name is Lumi. It's my first time I have arroz con gandules at her house. She loved me. We used to talk about God and church. The first time I heard about pasteles, because this lady can make the best Puerto Rican pasteles ever. The reason why this story is so significant to me is because a lot of people don't know, when you come from another country, even if it's a Latino country, it's difficult to assimilate the American culture, but you also got to assimilate all the other cultures in the schools. And I couldn't find anybody that talked the Spanish I talked. They actually made fun of me because they were like, your Spanish is funny. And I was like, my Spanish is correct, and yours isn't. I've learned I don't fight that battle anymore. But I remember that lady took us and helped my mother and became a friendship of over 50, 40 years. I didn't mean to make you old, Mommy, I'm sorry. But it was that welcoming that she gave us. It was the welcoming that we felt as immigrants in a new city, right? So time goes by. I'm going to tell you about another story. I'm going to be quick. Christmas was coming around, and mommy moved here. We don't have no family, no uncles, no cousins, no grandma, no grandpa. So Christmas was coming, and mommy was with me, and I believe by now she had my brother who was born here. He was little, and we didn't have nowhere to go for Christmas. And I remember very vividly a good friend of my mom, Doña Felicita Oquendo. She's passed away, and may she rest in peace. Has a beautiful family. I remember when we gathered in their home, they invited my mom and me and my baby brother. And we had arroz con habichuela again. Arroz con gandules, pernil. I was like, oh, that's delicious. But it was the welcoming that we received as outsiders. They made us feel at home. I remember the first time I met Dominican people here in Buffalo. I didn't know Dominicans before coming to Buffalo. And I remember being in the kitchen of my friend's house, and her mom was making sancocho. Who likes sancocho? So I remember when her mom was making sancocho, and I said, oh, that's familiar to me, because my grandmother back home would make sancocho, and our whole family would gather. And I don't know how you make sancocho, but back home we make it in a pot that's like this big. And when you make sancocho, sancocho is not just sancocho. I say sancocho is happiness. It's family. It's a lot of things in that pot. And the yuca and the viandas and the pollo and the rabo, or oxtail. It has to have oxtail. And when they made sancocho, I immediately identified with them. It was like a piece of home, right? I talk about these things because we have a lot going on in our country right now. We are welcoming new Americans into our cities. We're welcoming people into our country. Some people are not welcoming them, but some people are. I can tell you I am the proudest of this Buffalo community because I've seen with these eyes. What I wanted to say was, I thought those times were gone, where people knew each other, where people welcome people into their home, but I'm happy to say that that's still happening. There are so many families in our communities that are opening their doors to people that are not from here. But guess what? We share a lot in common. That sancocho, that arroz con gandules, those are delicious. I can tell you as an immigrant, you go through moments of resilience. You go through moments of strength. Life took a curve, and I didn't accomplish everything I set to accomplish. I did go to college. She did see me graduate, maybe not what she wanted me to go to school for. But my daughter was born here in Buffalo, and now my mom drives my daughter to UB. I'm very proud of you, Mom. You are a very strong woman. Just like many of the other women we met along the way, you come from my grandma, who was a strong woman, mother of 13. She raised kids. She ran a little school from her home. And for my mom to have been, I think about it now and I say, I don't know that I could pick up at 36 years old and leave the country that I've been living in. I'm not 36, I'm just saying that's when she did it. I don't know, don't do the math, you guys. But for her to have picked up and left and started a new life in a different country, there's something so beautiful behind that process, right? Some people leave because they have to, because of the struggles. But some people, and some people come because they want to start a new life. Every immigrant, every person that you meet that's not from here, I know the media is telling you a story about who they are and what we are, but we're all over the place. We're everywhere. If you go into any business in the city of Buffalo, you're gonna see a lot of people that are not from here. I think it's important to welcome them, to make them feel at home, and to learn about each other. We have to learn about each other's cultures. Today, I work for the Hispanic Heritage Council. I don't work for them, I'm a part of the team there. And we are looking to build a new building on the corner of Hudson and Niagara Street. You might have heard about it, the Hispanic Cultural Institute. That is the purpose of having a building, a community center where we can gather and we can share our stories of immigration, of resilience. When I hear Eileen's story, your strength, your need to come here and make a difference, to get involved in your community, to give back, these are all of the things that we should all be striving to do. I know for me, through my work, that's what I do now. I try to give back as much as I can. Thank you, and it was nice meeting you.